I don't think any other leader has been on such a whistle-stop tour of Delhi as
he knows exactly where to go. So he's got things he wants to do, places he wants to go.
And he's got a very, very good High Commissioner in Alex Ellis. Alex Ellis has embraced India like few other diplomats in recent times.
He's been going and watching Bollywood films also.
He's been watching Bollywood films. He will ring you up and say, which are the films that I should watch? He watched Sholay, which he said he loved. And then sort of did a karaoke on Ye Dosti Hum Nahi Todenge, which also broke the internet. He loves cricket and intends to go to watch all the World Cup games, he says, not just where England is playing, but also he hopes for an England-India final. He says an England-India final at Ahmedabad, Narendra Modi Stadium. And by the way, Rishi Sunak also loves his cricket. You go to Narayan Murthy's office and there's a picture of Rishi Sunak playing a forward defensive shot. So Rishi Sunak got the entire England team to come before the Ashes series to 10 Downing Street. They played a bit of cricket apparently in the garden behind. So cricket is the other great unifier, as is religion in the case of Rishi Sunak. So lots of complementary, the bridge building between India and the UK is quite amazing in recent times, given the fact of all that happened, the depredations during the British Empire. The manner in which Britain ruthlessly took over the riches of India deserves a full apology from the, from the British. Jallianwala Bagh deserves an apology. Some would say it deserves reparation also. But that aside, I think it's great to see how much the world has changed for the better. To see a British Prime Minister talk about Akshardham in the language that we just heard from Rishi Sunak, and indeed the fact that we have a Prime Minister of Indian origin today in Britain is a symbol of this changing world, Rahul.
Can we also just see what's happening at Rajghat for a moment? These are images from the Akshardham temple. They went into the Garbhagriha. Akshardham, of course, meaning the divine abode of God. Now one of Delhi's most popular attractions. I think it's very symbolic that they chose to go to Rajghat all together, and then when you want to privately do something, you can go to the Humayun's tomb, you can go to Akshardham if you'd like, but when all of them are together and as part of a visual program, that's the gentleman we were speaking to, Jyotendra. He's in charge of the temple complex, joining us. We've got Rajiv Dogra with us as well. Good morning, great to have you back. I see your enthusiasm as high as those of the participants. Back again after a late evening. Welcome. What are you making of these images from the Akshardham?
When you're sitting with three handsome anchors, your enthusiasm goes up. But the images that are coming out, just now there is Rishi Sunak. He goes to Swaminarayan Temple in London regularly, which is a replica almost of Akshardham, or the other way around. And this is remarkable in an age where one of the British Prime Ministers, Cameron, he had declared in a conference in Munich that multiculturalism in Britain is dead. That means their experiment with assimilation of other people, other religions, had gone wrong. Now, these images, and especially when he proudly says, I am a Hindu, not a rigid one, but I am a Hindu, I practice my religion, shows that there is hope. And that message is also being conveyed by all of them, including the President of Indonesia, Nigeria, who have different faiths.
Without imposing your religion on anyone else of a different faith in the performance of public duties. I think that's the significance. You can proudly wear your religious identity on your sleeve, but you do not impose it on anyone else or use it in your public duties. This is his private space in a way. He's not, doing it in his public space. And I think, I'm sure Rishi Sunak will also have a Christmas party at 10 Downing Street, as he will have Diwali. And I think that is true multiculturalism, which, as you rightly said, Mr. Dogra, Britain has been wrestling with. But perhaps in the rise of Rishi Sunak, you can sense that Britain is slowly coming to terms with it.
Gaurav Sawant is with us. Take us through your sense of the symbolism of Rishi Sunak being at the Akshardham temple. It's rained just a little bit. It hasn't rained too much. It's not rained so much that it derails your plans. It's rained just a little bit, and in my view, it makes Delhi even prettier when it's just a little bit of rain, not too much that impacts your
that
infrastructure.
was also arranged by Ministry of External Affairs.
Itna bhi nahi, sir. Ministry of External Affairs, okay, I know you guys are on a roll, and you did spectacularly well, most certainly, no doubt about that. But let the ME and the IFS not get carried away. You definitely didn't arrange the rain, but you did, thanks to your young pride officers and the entire team, help bring the Delhi Declaration together, which is far more significant.
There was a nice picture that Amitabh Kant put out today with
his team.
Nag Naidu and Inam Gambhir, the two people who were
One speaking Russian, the other Chinese.
200 hours on just the Ukraine issue. Amazing.
No, I think the backroom staff of India's foreign service deserves a huge.
Huge.
A huge degree of applause for the work they put in. This hasn't just been a one-day match. What we are seeing is the culmination. They started this, October, November last year. Bali was November last year. And to take it over, do 220 events across 60 cities.
Okay.
You involve, IAS officers, IFS officers. I mean, Amitabh Kant is an IAS officer, and he had a team of a mix of IFS and IAS.
Since Mr. Dogra is in the mood to do a bit of RARA MEA, I'm going to invite Harsh Shringla, the chief coordinator of the G20. He'll be joining us in a short while from now, so we'll have him there, former foreign secretary, chief coordinator, worked very closely in bringing this whole program together. So we'll do
Rahul,
a bit
I
of
just
that.
wanted to quickly, before we bring in Harsh Shringla, the chief coordinator, I need to do this because this is important, because the number of messages we're all getting about the number of people who are viewing us. We've just done a quick calculation, not to boast, but we are currently at 26 times. India Today's viewership currently is 26 times all of the other channels' viewership combined. Wow. 26 times. All of the other
And she was saying he didn't want to boast. So
that's
it's
important to
very
us because that's
nonchalant.
made by our viewers. That's important. Just wanted to say that.
That's quite amazing. Thank you for your faith,
Yeah.
your trust, your time, waking up early in the morning, staying with us through the evening. It means the world to the entire team at the India Today Group. And it's your messages, your love, your affection that keeps us going. In fact, got us out of bed early this morning. Without that, we'd be sitting and just sipping our coffee at home. So thank you. It really does mean a lot. And it is indeed a big moment for India, a big moment for India today. And a big moment for Bharat as well. So we're working on this. Skand Dayal joins us, former diplomat, expert on Chinese studies. Mr. Dayal, what are you making of the reactions we are getting from Xinhua, from Global Times, and the manner in which China is decoding India's coming of age at the global stage in the modern world?
At least on the channels, if you see Al Jazeera or you see Channel News Asia, or the G20 coverage has been very good and positive. Mm-hmm. And China, of course, has its own view, but as Foreign Minister Jaishankar also acknowledged in his briefing yesterday, that yes, there were misgivings, there were apprehensions, there were fears that China may act as a spoiler, as the NSA of United States had also was fearing. But that has not happened. I think that is very positive. And this will be, I would say that in India, China, even bilateral relations or equations or dialogue or negotiations, this will be taken as a kind of a positive. That China did not play the role of a spoiler, and China ultimately the Ukraine formulation would really be vetoed or not vetoed by Russia, and China would sort of support Russia.